Dr. Mumita Debnath, a young and dedicated doctor, had poured her heart and soul into her medical training. She dreamt of easing pain and saving lives. Long hours and grueling shifts were a testament to her commitment. Patients saw a ray of hope in her compassionate eyes. Little did anyone know that her journey of healing would end in a horrific tragedy. The corridors of R.G. Kar Medical College in Kolkata, usually bustling with life, turned into a scene of unimaginable horror on August 9th. 2024. The brutal rape and murder of Dr. Debnath sent shockwaves across India. It was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of women, even within the supposed safe havens of a hospital. The nation mourned the loss of a promising young doctor, her life tragically cut short. The details that emerged from the autopsy painted a horrifying picture of Dr. Debnath's final moments. The young doctor had endured unimaginable suffering. She was subjected to a brutal and prolonged assault. Evidence pointed towards a struggle, indicating her desperate attempt to fight back against her attacker. The brutality of the crime shook the nation's conscience, leaving an indelible scar on the medical community. The post-mortem report revealed the sheer savagery inflicted upon her. It detailed 113 bite marks covering her entire body. Each bite mark was a chilling testament to the attacker's depravity. It was a level of brutality that defied comprehension. The report sent chills down the spines of everyone who read it, fueling the public outcry for justice. The 113 bite marks told a story of unimaginable pain and terror. They were not merely physical wounds, but a map of the sheer brutality that Dr. Debnath endured. Each bite was a deliberate act of cruelty, a mark of the perpetrator's monstrous intent. The sheer number of bites pointed towards an animalistic rage, a desire to inflict maximum pain and suffering. Beyond the physical agony, one can only imagine the psychological terror that Dr. Debnath experienced. The feeling of helplessness, the sheer terror in her final moments is a haunting thought. The brutality of the crime transcended physical violence, leaving deep psychological scars on her loved ones and a sense of collective trauma within society. Section 4. Nationwide outrage, a nation awakened. The news of Dr. Debnath's murder spread like wildfire, igniting a wave of anger and grief across India. People from all walks of life poured onto the streets demanding justice for the slain doctor. The brutal nature of the crime shook the nation's conscience, forcing it to confront the demon of violence against women. Protests erupted in Kolkata and quickly spread to other cities, uniting people in their grief and outrage. The medical community, deeply affected by the tragedy, was at the forefront of the protests. Doctors, nurses, and medical students, united in grief and anger, demanded increased security at hospitals and stricter laws to protect healthcare workers. The Indian Medical Association called for a nationwide strike, bringing medical services to a standstill. Their message was clear: enough is enough. Section 5. A collective call for justice. The brutal murder of Dr. Debnath became a symbol of the larger issue of violence against women in India. The incident sparked a national conversation about women's safety, or the lack thereof, in a country grappling with deep-rooted patriarchal norms. The protests, fueled by grief and anger, were a cry for justice, a demand for systemic change. The demand for justice resonated beyond the streets. Social media platforms were flooded with messages of condolences, anger, and calls for swift action. Celebrities, politicians, and influencers added their voices to the growing chorus demanding justice for Dr. Debnath. The incident became a rallying cry for change, forcing the nation to confront its demons and demand better protection for women. Section 6. Honoring her memory. A pledge for change. The tragic death of Dr. Mumita Debnath serves as a chilling reminder of the work that remains to be done to ensure the safety and security of women in India. It is a wake-up call for the government, policymakers, and society at large. Her death must not be in vain. It must serve as a catalyst for lasting change. Let us honor Dr. Debnath's memory by demanding stricter laws, swifter justice, and a societal shift that respects and protects women. Let us create a world where women can pursue their dreams without fear, where hospitals are safe havens for healing, and where tragedies like this become a relic of a bygone era. Let us pledge to create a society where every woman can live with dignity, safety, and freedom.